morning, Cougars. I'm Nathan Radcliffe.
And I'm Peele.
Today is Thursday, January 12th, 2023. For lunch today, we have a choice of spaghetti with meatballs, or ham and cheese sandwich, California blend garden peas, and assorted fruits. We have two birthdays to celebrate in Northeast today: Thompson Marshall and Miss Lewis' second grade class, and Miss Crandall, the assistant in pre-K. We hope you had a great day.
Remember that the end of the grading period is near. Students should be checking now to ensure that all of their assignments are completed and turned in. Check your Power Schools for any missing assignments, and ask your teachers if you have any questions about your grades.
If you're interested in playing rec baseball or softball for the town of Bellhaven, there are sign-up sheets at the front office for you to take home. Stop in and pick one up.
Students in 6th through 8th grade are reminded about the winter dance tomorrow night, January the 13th from 6 to 9. Dress will be casual and the music will be loud. 6th through 8th grade students are invited, assuming no recent write-up. Admission is $5.
Our inspirational quote this morning comes from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. "You must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope."
As we continue to prepare to celebrate the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on Monday the 16th, it is important to examine the ways in which he influenced the life of the United States both then and now. At 6 o'clock on Thursday, 4th of April, 1968, Martin Luther King was shot dead while standing on the balcony outside of his second floor room at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. News of King's assassination prompted major outbreaks of racial violence, resulting in more than 40 deaths nationwide and extensive property damage in over 100 American cities. James Earl Ray, a 40-year-old escaped fugitive, later confessed to the crime and was sentenced to a 99-year prison term.
In 2015, an article written by P.E. Joseph, a professor of the public affairs and history, appeared in Washington Post. In it, he wrote, 125 American cities exploded in violence after King's death. In Washington, Johnson ordered 4,000 Army and National Guard troops to cordon off the White House. Nationally, 7,000 military service members and National Guardsmen were deployed in 29 states. Black Power activists, most notably Carmichael, opened a political revolution following King's assassination, citing the death as the end of nonviolent disobedience as a strategy for social change. King's death sparked even more grief than violence. More than 100 million Americans watched his televised funeral broadcast on the three major networks, and Johnson, who did not attend the funeral, ordered flags on federal buildings flown at half-staff. King's death did not end the civil rights movement or signal the defeat of the poor to reimagine American democracy on behalf of the poor, disfranchised, imprisoned, and suffering. In fact, these movements proliferated during the first half of the next decade, and many institutionalizing them into the fabric of liberal democratic capitalism through legislative protections for children, health insurance, the environment, the mentally, the physically challenged, and many other disadvantaged groups.
King's lasting nation gift to the nation, what makes 1968 such an important and resonant year for our time, was his unflinching recognition of the America's shortcoming and his persistent beliefs that the nation could transform itself through collective sacrifices, political struggles, and spiritual renewal.
We now have a special word from our principal, Miss Sherman. Please give her your undivided attention.
Good morning, Northeast Cougars. I'm going to take a few minutes to talk to you about our moment of silence that we do every day. And we're going to just look at why do we do it, and maybe what are you supposed to do while we have our moment of silence. So listen, I got some good information to share with you. So historically, the moment of silence goes back to World War I, when a 2-minute time of silence was observed for those who had passed away during the war. The time of silence has certainly changed over the past 100 years and is now a time for more than this. In schools, we hold a moment of silence to encourage you to reflect, possibly pray, or meditate before beginning your main studies for the day. Some students and teachers see this time as a way to ground themselves for the day, set their minds right, and get prepared for all that might come their way. During the moment of silence, it is expected that all will be respectful of those around them and remain silent until the time for the Pledge of Allegiance. Whether you choose to pray, meditate, or simply stand silently is up to you. However, it is important that you stand and you are respectful, and that this is an important way that we start our day at Northeast. We follow the moment of silence every day with the Pledge of Allegiance, and we encourage everyone to join in as it is led for you on the announcements. Have a great day.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Remain standing as we are led in the reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance by a third grade class, Miss Callie Danehy.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Cougars. Make today a great day, and don't forget to roar.